So I've been waiting to do this one for a while. I'm kind of like looking at all the receivers in the league. I think there's a few that aren't in this. Like I know Garrett Wilson isn't in this, but it's pretty much everybody else. And I'm kind of just gonna put them in which tier of receiver I think they are. So if we look at the board here, one receiver means like if they were on a team, they were be caliber of being the best receiver on a team, like being a one, being a just go-to guy, a guy that's going to change the impact of games. A two receiver obviously would be like he can still make a lot of plays, but he's not like a premier guy that's going to change an outcome of the game. Then third option, fourth, and this is where I think they should be, what they should be sought out of on the market. Like so, if every one of these guys went on the market today, this is what I think they'd be valued at receiver. Adam Thielen for me, you know, I think he's still a good two. I think he can still be a good two. He was a great two with Justin Jefferson this year. Yeah, I think he can be a two. AJ Brown, it's an easy one for me. We saw the year that he had in Philadelphia. Not really debatable on that. Alec Pierce, four receiver for me. He'd probably be a fourth option guy. If I was running schemes, if he went on the market, that's probably what it would be too. Allen Robinson, with the year he just had, I'm going to put him at a three, but before the year, I thought he was here, like here, maybe even here, but just after that bad year he had, that's where he is. Mari Cooper, he's a two. He's the number one in Cleveland, but he is probably a two receiver, in my opinion. Mari Rogers is a four. He just is. He's a solid two. Ahmad Saber, he had a really good year. He's the first option in Detroit. I feel like Jameson Williams will become the first option, but he's definitely a two. Brandon Cooks, I would like to have him as my third. I think he's a really good three receiver. Yeah, I'd like to have him as my third. Ayuk can be a two. Ayuk can be a two. I really think he had a really strong year. There were games where he had to step up where Deebo Samuel was out. So, yeah, I definitely think he could be a two. Brian Edwards is four. Traylon Burks is four. CeeDee Lamb, I'll give him the one. He's had some games where he's shown that he can be a one. Chase Claypool, he's a three. Christian Kirk is a three in my eyes. Cooper Kupp's a one. Cooper Kupp definitely a one. Had the Triple Crown just a year ago, got hurt. Corey Davis, he's a four for me. He's a four. He's a four for me. Cortland Sutton, I think I'd like to have him as my third option. I would have him as a three. Jameson Crowder, I wouldn't have a problem with him being my third. Curtis Samuel, this is kind of tough with him because he's a slot guy, but he could be a third receiver. Yeah, he could be a third receiver. Vontae Adams, easily a one. Guy's a monster. We know that. Deebo Samuel's a one receiver. Dion Duvernay is definitely here. He's a really good two, Devonta Smith. He's becoming a really good two. DeAndre Hopkins, obviously a one. Stephon Diggs is definitely a one. Now, Deontay Johnson, I think he's a really good two. He's a really good two. He's had some good years. I think Pickens is going to – I don't think Pickens is a one yet, but I think he's the premier receiver on that roster. DJ Chark, I have him as a four. DJ Moore is a two for me. This is going to be debatable for people. I just see him as more of a two. DK Metcalf, he's a one. He's shown enough to be a one receiver where if he went on the market, he'd be sought out as that. Drake London for me is a three right now. He's just not there yet. Elijah Moore's also a three right now for me. Not impressive enough to put him at the two and not impressive enough to put him at the one. That's where I just put him. Dwayne Estridge is four for me. Russell Gage is a four. Michael Gallup can be a three on teams. He can definitely be a three on teams. And Garrett Wilson actually is on this. Right now, with this caliber, he's a two. Look to see him become a one after next season. He had a great year. I think won Offensive Rookie of the Year. Chris Godwin is definitely a 2. Um, AJ Green at this point in his career, he's just not. He's just not what he was. Cole Hardman can be a solid 3 on a team for sure. Definitely can do that. Um, Marquise Hollywood Brown can be a solid 3. John Dotson had a really good year. I could see him elevating to being a 2. We'll put him at 3. I could see him elevating to being a 2. Kobe Myers is definitely a third option. Jamar Chase is a 1 for me. Just continues to have these great years. Back-to-back seasons, he's looked like one of the best receivers in the league. Jameson Williams right now is right here. I really don't have enough. There's really not enough tape on him. From what I've seen, his abilities, I think he's right here right now. I wouldn't be bothered if you put him here, but I just think he's got a future. Jarvis Landry is at the point where it's clear he could still be a 3, but not much more than that. I really like Jerry Jeudy, but he's still a 2. He's still a 2. Definitely still a 2 at this point. Justin Jefferson, easily a 1, easily a first guy. Juju Smith is a 3. Julio Jones is a 3 at this point of his career. Getting older, obviously. Keenan Allen, right now he's a 2 for me. Right now he's a 2. Kenny Galladay is a 3 for me. Osborne, we'll see if he elevates this year. Right now he's a 4th option guy for me, but, we'll see. We'll see with that. KJ Hamler would definitely be he's a 4 for me right now. So is Chenault. Lazard, I guess we could say Lazard's a 3. Tyler Lockett's a really good 2. Very underrated 2. He's a 4. Marvin Jones, he can be a 3 on a roster. Terry McLaurin, really good 2. Really good 2. Menchie, from what I've seen so far, definitely in that spot, that 3 spot. Mike Evans, still a 2 for me. Shockingly, some, but still would be in that 2 category for me. Mike Williams is a 2 as well. Actually, I would like to see Mike Williams as a 3rd option if I'm running the team here. Darnell Mooney is a 4. Elvis Scantley is a 4. Nelson Aguilar. Nelson Aguilar could be a 3. Odell Beckham, I just feel like he's getting older with the injury coming back. I think he's a 3 with the injury coming back. And, I don't know. I'd like to have him as my 3rd option. So Olave right now, from what he's done as a 2, he could elevate to a 1. Obviously on 1 year of tape. He's there. Vontae Parker can be a solid 3. Actually, he had a bad year. We'll put him at 4. George Pickens, I think he's going to take a big elevation this next year, but right now I'm right there in the 2. Michael Pittman, I think he's a 3 right now. Watkins easily in that 4 spot. Rashard Bateman, he could be a 3 for a team. Rigor could be, I'm going to put him at 4. Hunter Renfrow, really good slot receiver. That's the reason I'm going to put him as a 2. I think he's a good 2 to Devontae Adams right now. Calvin Ridley, I'm going to put him at 2 for right now. But, he had the year off. He's going to be fresh. He could easily make the elevation up to this tier 1. Robbie Anderson, probably a 3. Robert Woods at this point in his career, a 4. Randall Moore. It's right there. Sterling Shepard. Actually, at this point in his career, he's got more. Darius Slayton down here. T. Higgins is a great 2. Put that up there. Michael Thomas is just tough. He hasn't played in a while, but when he does play, he was a 1 for a long time. Right now, I'm going to stick him at 2 just for now. Patrick is right here. Darius Toney is a 3. Con Smith is down here. T.Y. Hilton's just too old at this point to be a big option. Tyler Boyd, from what we've seen in Cincinnati, he's the 3 receiver there. Tyreek Hill's obviously a guy that would be in the 1 receiver category. Just got to move him up to the 1 receiver category. He would be here. Van Jefferson. I don't mind Van Jefferson. Jalen Waddle, for me, a 2 right now. Sammy Watkins he could be a 3rd. I'm going to say he could be a 3rd option. Christian Watson could be a 3rd option. And he would be 4th. So this is the list right here. We got the guys that, if they went on the market today, with no doubt would be considered a 1 receiver, a true 1 receiver. The guys that I consider a 2, guys that I'd consider a 3, and the guys that I consider in that 4th spot.